Good afternoon, everybody. I'm Rolene Marks. This is the Israel Brief, brought to you as always by Lay of the Land. Now, today's edition of the Israel Brief is different. Today, we bring you a special update on the situation in Israel over the last 12 or so hours. In the early hours of this morning, the Israeli Defense Forces launched Operation Shield and Arrow. This is in response to the over 100 rockets fired by terror factions in the Gaza Strip onto Israelis' southern citizens just several weeks ago. The Home Front Command, under the auspices of the IDF, have issued orders to civilians around the Gaza Strip to evacuate to safer parts of the country. Municipalities in those areas are on standby to assist anybody who may have special needs. Now, we do have conflicting reports about the casualties as a result of these strikes. It has been confirmed by spokespeople from within the IDF that 40 fighter planes and helicopters struck military targets in the Gaza Strip, as well as munitions storage facilities and weapons factories. The Rear Admiral Hagan for the IDF says that this could take several days and that at least 13 Palestinians, including 9 terrorists, 3 out of the 9 terrorists being high-ranking Palestinian Islamic Jihad officials, have been killed. Now, the United Nations is reporting that there have been 4 children amongst the casualties. That has not been confirmed. What has been confirmed is that a Russian national, his wife and child, have been killed in the airstrikes. Meanwhile, trains to Netivot and Sderot have been stopped, schools have been closed, daycare centers have been closed, and Israel is bracing for any reprisals that might come from the Gaza Strip. Channel 13 predicting earlier today that the fighting could last as long as 3 days. And Rear Admiral Hagar also saying that there is a possibility the IDF could call up some reserves. Meanwhile, the Defense Minister, Yoav Gallant, who has conducted several security assessments throughout the day, says that we must be prepared for any eventuality, and he has said to the mayors of Gaza-enveloped towns to prepare their citizens for this possible scenario. Opposition leader Yair Lapid tweeted out earlier today that his party and the opposition stand firmly behind the government. Now, this is very important to note, that while Israel might have internal divisions over some domestic issues, one thing that we are all united on is the security situation. Meanwhile, it has been reported that National Security Minister Itamar Ben-Gvir was not kept apprised of the plans to conduct a strike. There were concerns that he might leak these plans and therefore ruining the element of surprise. President Herzog has congratulated the IDF on their strikes and has appealed to citizens to please follow the instructions of the IDF's Home Front Command. At this juncture, I want to just reiterate that when the IDF do strike targets, they are with pinpoint precision. The IDF does everything possible to mitigate as many civilian casualties as possible. It must also be noted that targeted assassinations of known terrorists is within international law. The same cannot be said for these same terror factions who fire rockets from within their civilian infrastructures onto our civilians, committing, in fact, a double war crime. The joint operation of Palestinian factions in the Gaza Strip have threatened that Israel's leaders will pay a heavy price. Palestinian Islamic Jihad have threatened reprisals and revenge. The Palestinian Authority has called on the international community to intervene, and Jordan has condemned the airstrikes, calling as well on the international community to intervene. The United Nations Special Coordinator for the Middle East, Tor Vennesland, who just moments ago I said that there were 4 children who were killed, says that any civilian casualties are unacceptable. Now, we will keep you updated about the developments around this, but this is the big story in Israel today. And as we speak, our Defense Minister, our IDF Chief of Staff, and the heads of all our major security branches are conducting a security assessment, and we are bracing for any possible reprisals. So this brings me to the end of today's edition of the Israel Brief. Please don't forget to check out our website at www.layoftheland.online. We have an article up written by Jonathan Feldstein about what it is like for the residents of Sderot and neighboring towns when rockets are fired towards them. It is also on our Facebook page at Lottel Site. If you do see us, please like us, follow us, share our content, and hey, why not invite your friends to join us as well. We're on YouTube. Our channel is at the Israel Brief. Please click on that red subscribe button and help share the news from Israel you're not going to hear in the mainstream media to as many people as possible. And we're on Twitter at LayofTheLand5. I'm Rolene Marks. This is the Israel Brief, and we'll check in with each other tomorrow.